Hello again, fellas. I'm back on the original world because last time I was on my personal computer, so that was my personal world, but we're back here. But anyways, I want to jump straight into the topic for today. So for the last 2 years, everyone has been heavily focused on the software side of the AI apocalypse. We've talked endlessly about ChatGPT completely ruining Google search, AI-generated slop taking over YouTube and social media, and how the internet is basically turning into a dead wasteland where automated bots just talk to other automated bots. But what nobody is actually talking about is the physical, real-world cost of all that digital slop. Like, people still have the illusion that the cloud is just some invisible, magical place floating in the sky that holds all our data for free. But it's not, because the cloud is actually a massive warehouse in the middle of the desert, packed to the ceiling with GPUs and enterprise-grade hardware that sucks enough electricity as a small country. Because today, we need to have a very serious talk about the terrifying reality of the cloud infrastructure crisis. We're going to look at how AI is draining local power grids, why it is single-handedly destroying the consumer PC gaming market, and why the multi-trillion-dollar AI bubble is mathematically guaranteed to burst and take the rest of the economy down with it. So let's look at how ridiculous the current internet has actually become. I call this the infinite slop loop. Because right now, massive tech companies are spending hundreds of millions of bucks to buy enterprise servers just to train large language models. And then these models are often accessed by spammers who use them to automatically generate thousands of fake garbage articles, low effort videos, and SEO spam. And then other companies use their own server farms to run automated bot accounts that click on those fake articles to generate ad revenue. Like, you literally have machines burning physical electricity to create fake content just for other machines to consume. Like, humans aren't even involved in the equation anymore, and the internet has become like a closed loop of machines scanning machines. But to run this massive pointless slot machine, you need actual physical compute power. And this is where the crisis begins. Like, every time you ask AI to write a funny poem, do something, do your homework, any task, it requires like an insane amount of processing. Like, generating one single AI image takes you like the same amount of electricity as fully charging your smartphone. And a single ChatGPT query takes nearly 10 times the electricity as a simple Google search. When you multiply that by like millions of billions of like queries per day and factor in a constant never-ending machine learning training data, suddenly the internet requires an industrial amount of physical resources just to keep the lights on. Like, AI is not lightweight. Like, it's heavy, power demanding. Like, it is very demanding. Like, it's insane. If you want to know why PC gaming is getting absurdly expensive and why it costs an arm and a leg just to build a mid-range computer, look no further than the semiconductor supply chain. The major tech monopolies are in an absolute arms race panic right now. They're terrified of falling behind the AI war, so they're buying up every single GPU and microchip that rolls off the assembly line. Like, they are hoarding enterprise-grade silicon by the hundreds of thousands to build these massive AI brains. When all the world's silicon goes directly to corporate data centers, what happens to the consumer? Like, what happens to the kid who wants to build a budget PC to play like Minecraft with his friends? Like, the prices just skyrocket, and the budget tier PC gaming is pretty much like completely dead now, because it is much more profitable for chip manufacturers to sell enterprise hardware to Microsoft, Meta, and OpenAI than to sell a single graphics card to you. Like, they have completely abandoned the gaming community that built them. But hoarding the hardware is just step one. Step two is keeping it from literally melting under strain. These massive data centers run incredibly hot. Like, a building packed with 100,000 screaming GPUs generates an industrial amount of heat, like a mini sun. And to stop your servers from catching fire, they obviously need cooling systems. But do you know what that means? It means they need water. Millions and millions and millions of gallons of water. Like, there are literal towns right now across the United States especially that are facing severe water shortages because a massive tech corporation built an AI data center down the street. These facilities are drawing millions of gallons of clean, portable drinking water from local aquifers just to spray on a server so their chatbot doesn't overheat. Like, they're draining the physical water supply of local communities just to sustain a digital bubble. And the electricity consumption is even worse. Like, we are seeing local power grids get completely overwhelmed. Like, the energy demands of these hyperscale data centers are so massive that utility companies literally cannot build solar panels or wind turbines fast enough to power them. So what are they doing? Well, many areas are reactivating old shut down coal power plants. They're keeping massive fossil fuel plants open entirely to feed these server farms. Like, we are moving backwards as a species. Like, we are burning coal and draining local water supplies just so some tech CEO can show to his investors a line going up on a graph. Like, the trade-off is absolutely insane. Like, we are trading the health of Earth just for an AI that hallucinates facts and writes terrible emails. So we have a situation where tech companies are hoarding all the hardware, completely destroying the consumer PC market, drawing millions of gallons of water, and draining the actual physical energy grids. With an investment that massive, with a physical cost that high, you would think that the technology must be like printing infinite money, right? Must be the most profitable business model in human history. Well, that's not the case. Like, that is completely wrong. And this is the most hilarious, terrifying part of the artificial intelligence return on interest crisis. Nobody is actually making a profit on this. Like, they're spending tens of billions of bucks on capital expenditure. They're buying the land, building concrete warehouses, purchasing the cloud infrastructure, and paying absolutely psychotic electricity bills. But what is the actual product they're selling to make that money back? A chatbot? A subscription? A tool that generates generic marketing copies for lazy companies? A coding system that always makes mistakes? The math simply does not add up. You cannot spend $50 billion on physical infrastructure to sell a $20 a month subscription to a glorified autocomplete engine. The revenue they're generating from AI features is a microscopic fraction of what it costs to actually run the servers. Like, it is the most mass speculative bubble in the history of Silicon Valley. It makes a dot-com crash like in the year 2000 look like a minor speed bump. Every single major tech company is playing a game of chicken right now. They are all terrified of being the one company left behind in the AI race. So they're all setting billions of investor dollars on fire to build these data centers. They operate on the delusion that eventually the AI will magically become smart enough to invent a way to pay for itself. But eventually, reality always catches up. Eventually, the Wall Street investors, they're going to look on the balance sheets and they're going to look at the operating expenses versus the actual revenue. And they're going to ask, hey, where's the return on investment for all these servers? Where's the $1 trillion you promised us? And when those tech CEOs have to stand on an earning call and admit that AI is just a neat feature and not an actual business model, the bubble pops. When the venture capital funding dries up and the stock prices do correct themselves, these companies are going to stop paying the power bills. These massive sprawling data centers are going to be powered down and they become abandoned concrete monuments to corporate greed, full of useless, outdated silicon. But the damage to our power grids, water supplies, and the consumer hardware market will already be done. They rushed to build a future without actually asking if the physical infrastructure of the planet could handle it. And when its entire house of cards comes crashing down, it's not the billionaires or tech CEOs who are going to pay the price. They've already cashed out their stock. The people who will actually pay the price are the average citizens who suddenly have to pay triple for their monthly electricity bill because the grid was destroyed, and the gamers who will never be able to afford a basic computer ever again. So yeah, that's it. I want to hear from you guys in the comments your thoughts on this topic. Do you think the AI bubble will pop this year, or are we doomed to watch even more structures pop up? It's gonna go even further. Let me know, because I think we're just running out of time. Oh yeah, also on an unrelated note, I was thinking about doing a series where I read people's tech stories, funny incidents and things like that. So I'm probably gonna set up a Google form for that sometime in the future. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And once again, I appreciate you guys for all the support. And yeah, peace out.